Hello, everybody. Welcome, everyone. Sunday Adelaja here. Who do we have there? Bumi Benro, Blessing Stephen, Pat Obasi, Vera Omoye, Rinde Benro, Tony Olobayo, Sally Adai, Jide Amusa, Alice Eddie, Daniel Adogun, Orenuga, Henry Ayodeji, Jude, Caroline. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Please, let's go and invite our friends and family and people we care about, and we'll be ready to start. So we have Mathias here, brother Mathias. Or are you Pastor Mathias?
No, I'm Brother Mathias. No, I'm not a pastor.
Yes. Now, well, your story, I know a part of your story. Your story is very, very fascinating. But first of all, let's start with, how did you get to know about DSA, first of all?
Well, that's interesting. Thank you so much again for having me on the platform. I truly appreciate that. It's quite an honor to me. How do I get to know about DSA? It's interesting. Actually, God led me to you. I've heard briefly about you, but nothing has ever attracted me to you until some time ago, I believe 2015, 2016 time frame, that the Lord showed me that I have a leadership responsibility in Nigeria. And I was wondering how to go about that. I started with a coach, tried to coach me. Then suddenly the Holy Spirit dropped in my heart that I should contact you. Meanwhile, I never knew what you did in Ukraine or that is your area. But when I hear the name Adelaja, I always thought of a pastor. That's why I never cared to look it up. But when that came to my mind, I said, okay, let me find his email and tell him my story, because I was not sure what to ask you.
You didn't even know much about me at all. God just...
No. I've had one thing that I know about you was that because a friend of mine is a pastor, and his vision is to reach, he's in America here, his vision is to reach he's supposed to have a multicultural or all mixed kind of a church. So somehow I think he said you're the only one that has a church with 99% white congregation. So that's how I think I heard about you. Then, so that was really the only information I know about you before then. I've not read your book because I always thought, well, he's a pastor. There's nothing really that was going to attract me to you until when the Holy Spirit dropped in my heart that you need to contact him and tell him your story. Then I wrote you an email, and I was shocked. After, I believe, 2 or 3 days, I got a response from you. And you gave me instruction that actually, like the light went on in my life, whereby I have clarity on exactly what I need to do. And that was the beginning of my journey with you.
Why do you say you are shocked?
Yeah, I was shocked because, I mean, it's common when you send an email to pastors with that are very popular and with huge congregation. It's normally not easy to get a response. You will not even get it, except if someone decides to write you or you get an auto reply. So I was very reluctant, but when I know that that's the only option I have, I decided to try it, and actually it works. So that was.
So what were the things that helped you, or maybe my response, because you said they were helpful to you? And yes, maybe it could help other people as well.
Absolutely. I share my story with you as far as who am I and what I have done in the community and what God showed me as far as leadership. And you give clarity to it. You actually said my foundation actually is a platform that that actually connects to the heart of the people. And you told me to go to your YouTube channel and actually listen and watch about 200 messages at a minimum. So I was like, wow, 200 messages. So when I got there, I was shocked at the content, because it's a huge content. There's so much. And you gave me strict instruction that you need to go series 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't jump series. You at least cover 200 minimum. But it's it's very hard to keep to that, because when you look down, you see a lot of good and interesting series, and you feel that, well, when can I get there? I think that's what I really need now. Yes.
So how did you overcome that crisis?
I fall a little bit, because there were times that, well, I followed the series quite okay, but there were occasional moments that I actually jumped, just watch one video or something like that, to have a preview of what I'm going to get to.
How many do you think you were able to listen to?
Oh, I know I've passed the 200 mark. I've passed the 200 mark. I've listened to a lot, and honestly, to listen, the thing is that you have to listen more than one time in any of the messages out there. So, because it's so overwhelming, sometimes you start wondering, how can I really do this? Because I have a target to reach 200, but there are some of them that are too good. I mean, you have to listen more than one time, because there's something unique about it. And each one is very important. Each one is very important.
But what was your first impression? It means like you didn't know that something like that was out there, or such a material was out there, or what was going through your mind that this guy, but I thought he's a pastor, but how come he's talking about all these things? I want you to expatiate to us in that sense.
Yeah, because I expected, actually, when I share some of your videos with some of my friends, I mean, they were saying, they thought they're expecting like a sermon type of messages. Yeah, that was what I was expecting to. Usually, it's the message you preach in the church that you put it on your channel. That's what you get. But when I got here, and the way you cover almost every area of life, and that is the fascinating thing about the content out there. It covers every area of life. When I got there, I was sharing with a friend, he said, well, that is really a school for you. You just got to stay in that channel and just consume everything you can get there. Everything that is there is so much, and each one is very, very important. So when I saw the diversity in what you have presented, meaning any area of my life, if I need help or if I need more understanding, I know particular where to go in particular to get that, because it covers everything. So
what was it? Because what was it going on in your mind? Were you thinking, okay, is this guy a pastor, or is he an educationist? Is it what was it? A confusion? Was it a surprise, confusion, or a discovery? What was it that was happening to you?
It was a discovery.
Okay.
I think it was a discovery for me, and also because I've not read your book before then, so I don't know really what you have or what you carry. Maybe if I read some of your books, I would have said, well, I read his book, but it's like a discovery for me. I said, wow, such knowledge, such insight. You explain things that I have struggled with over the years, not understanding it, and to come and see how simple it is in the way you break down some of these things that, especially, I'll give example, the first series for me. The first series, it's amazing.
Love.
Amazing because,
is it love? You cannot love God without loving people.
Yeah, that's series 1. That's my favorite series, because I've always desired, they say, the life of Jesus. It's about what Jesus teaches. It's love. And if you want to, if you claim you love God, you have to love people. And you elaborate on that. Just like the series you are doing now for over a month now, it's just so captivating, because I think that's the true essence of who God is. God is love. And we as believers, that is really the model we have to follow, to live by. That series one was really great. It's a series I always want to go to. But the first series, for me, the first series was, each one is great, but the first series did something to me. It gives me a very good understanding of what faith is really all about. I've been a Christian for over 30 years.
What Christianity is all about?
Faith. What faith is all about.
Faith.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Because I've been a Christian for more than 30 years, and I struggle with that word faith. Sometimes you don't really understand it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. What does that really mean? Everybody preaches a different way, but the way you really explain it.
The faith series. It's good that you are talking about it, too, because that is one series that I don't hear anybody talk about.
That is very fundamental.
Maybe thanks to you now, and thanks to your emphasis, people will notice it and, begin to look for it.
Why I connected there is that when God revealed to me what He's preparing me for, I said, well, this is God's vision, and He will take me there. I don't need to do anything. So when I listened to that series, I knew that, wow, I had to produce the substance of the things that I'm hoping for. I never understood it that way, but that series did a lot to me.
No, I want you to go back, because you started saying that you are already a Christian for 30 years.
Yes.
And you are always caring about faith all your life.
Yes.
So how will you compare in the first instance, the very beginning of it? So what was it you thought you knew about faith? And what was it that you discovered?
Well, what I knew about faith was I believed in my heart, and I always say it, I profess it. I believe in God for this, and just wait. But what I found out from that series is actually, faith without work is dead. We know that term, but to put it in practice, it's not everybody that knows that. I have to say for myself, I didn't know that in all cases. I didn't know that I have to produce substance for what I am hoping for.
And then how do you produce the substance, right?
Yes, how do you produce the substance? Now, and I learned that a lot from you, because you are very elaborate on that series. You have to, like you said, you're going to Nigeria now, you're producing something, but you're writing books, you're talking about Nigeria and all these things, And I say, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So the faith series is a revelation to you.
Absolutely.
So when you are listening to it, it was, how will you say? What will you? Was it just like I have to start all over afresh, or this is what have I been doing, or whatever was it?
I think every of your series, it makes you think like that. And I said discovery creates pain, because when you discover certain things, say, wow, where will I start from? Where have I been all these years? You have an interesting book, How to Regain Your Lost Year, and it answers such kind of dilemma, because I said, I wish I knew this from day one. There's so much I could have done before now, but I'm just finding out this, but I know I can still make up. But
I know your story, and we are going to hear more of it. I know that you are one person who has done a lot compared to many Christians in the world.
Thank you for that compliment.
even before you met me.
Yeah. Well, I was sharing with my wife earlier. I said, when you're pursuing vision, actually, you don't look back at how many things you have done. You keep seeing new ground to conquer. You still see so many things that need to be done. And when I kind of look at my profile, because I created a political profile and list everything I have done, I was shocked that, wow, in my little life, I have done this much, but I never think about them. I always look at, there are still more opportunities out there. There's so many things to do as far as affecting humanity.
I would like to ask about your story, how you grew up, and very, very touching story you have. But before I ask that story, I think people now are, or themselves are already curious to hear about your profile, the things that you have done. If you have your list or your, the thing there, so begin to elaborate to us one by one. What are the work you have done?
Wow. Well, my passion or my calling in life actually is to help the helpless, and I had a foundation which I named it after my late father, Agbu Memorial Foundation. So I had that. The foundation is like a platform through which I do what I do as far as touching lives and also communities. So the primary focus of the foundation is actually reaching out to orphans and vulnerable children. So since inception, which was in 2008 till now, my wife and I, we have been able to help up to 200 orphans with their education in Nigeria. Thank you.
With their education?
Yes.
Is it primary education or secondary education?
With secondary and actually a high institution, university and colleges.
200 people?
Yes, 200.
Even me, I've not done that one.
Well, so, and
200 human beings?
Yes, with the education.
Amazing, amazing.
Thank you. So that is the primary focus of the foundation, but we have done even many things beyond just orphans care, because my goal is that I want to see a situation that people think you cannot amount to anything, and to give you opportunity and transform you. So what we do, I call it Orphans Today, Leaders Tomorrow, meaning we bring you into our scholarship program. We just don't give you money to go and pay for your school fees, but we have you in our system. We have what we call Life Skill Workshop. This is a bi-monthly program that all the beneficiaries of the foundation will come to our office, and we train them on life skills and values and how to become a better person in the society. And my goal is that the way I count that, okay, we are successful in any of these orphans is that if they're able to transition from secondary school to university and actually graduate with a degree. So that's really how we count our success. Even though we have 200 that we have helped, but we are not able to transition that 200 to university or higher institution. So I found out a problem. I said, well, because most of these kids, they go to public schools, and we know the quality of the public education in Nigeria, how it is, especially in the north. So what the vision God gave me now is, okay, I want to start a secondary school whereby I can have all these kids in that school. Now you're responsible for the quality of the education they're going to receive, because they are in your school right now. So now with that, we'll be able to produce a lot of them that will go to university. But because they're not in our school, we don't have control on them. So I try to introduce an after-school tutoring program that during the long holiday, we get volunteer teachers who would kind of mentor or tutor them in some of the classes to help them to be able to pass their final exam to get to university. But I felt the best solution is to have my own school, whereby the school is primarily for the vulnerable children in the society, and be responsible for their education.
Wait, Mathias.
Yes.
Now, somebody who is watching you right now will say, how can you, an individual, one person, who was giving you the money, where was the money coming from to sponsor 200 children to school, high school and higher institution?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And honestly, the foundation has really been self-funded. We fund the foundation from our little income. You know, we started in 2008. During our 10th year anniversary with my wife, we said, okay, we're going to start the foundation. And we started with 16 orphans. We reached out in the community. We said we needed to help orphans with their education. We have 16 orphans. Now, whatever little income we have, we started with that.
Just from your savings, from your salary, from your savings?
From my salary, yes. From my salary. And interestingly, this is after you've given your tithes to the church, then it's the leftover, you use it to do that. So
what about if you had known what you know now?
I could have done more than what I've done.
You could have done, yes. Because
yes,
you could have done much more.
Yes, absolutely.
And you could have even done much more for yourself. Had more savings, because some of those extra money you are now using to do these things, you could have planned it and put it in investment to your own future.
Yeah. That's why when I read your book, Money Won't Make You Rich, it brought me down, because I saw a lot of things that I did wrong. But with a good intent, it's just because I didn't know. So, like I said, we, from our income, we support this. In fact, there are times that we empty our account to be able to pay their school fees, because my commitment to these children is that once you're in the foundation, you're in our program, whatever it takes, we must pay for your school fees up to the time you graduate from school. We don't just give you and go and forget you. That's why we put you in our program. And we have a good process of selecting these kids, because we do investigation. We send our representative go to the home to make sure that they are actually orphans, and also they need help. So we started with 16, and I know there's this thing about NGO. I mean, because when you say NGO, people look at it as a way to make money, and I didn't like that kind of identity with my foundation. So my wife and I, we agreed that we're not going to ask anybody for help. We said, let the work that we do speak for us. By the time people notice what you're doing, and people connect with the work you're doing in the life of these children, they will ask you, how can we help? How can we partner with you? So that's how. So the first 5, 6, 7 years, we never reach out to ask people to even partner with us. So, and we kept growing from that point. I mean, when I look back, I could not even believe that we were able to do what we did. And God helping us with, like I said, with our income, we do that. With our income, we do that. But, when I learned from Money Won't Make You Rich, if I have grown that income, if I've invested it, it could have been a lot easier for me to do it. And honestly, if you don't have the heart, if compassion is not the motivation to set up a foundation, this is just to tell the people out there that may think they want to start a foundation. But if compassion is not the motivation, you cannot sustain it. Because I tell you, we have sometimes reached out, people like what you're doing, people say, wow, this is great, but it's not everybody that will say, okay, this is what I'm going to give to support the work. And it's sometimes discouraging, but because the motivation is to help. It's discouraging because we have so many applications in our office now that we don't have the capacity to reach them. When I went to Nigeria in January, I got exposed to another dimension of the problem, because I thought I was helping the most vulnerable children in the community, not knowing that even kids with parents, they suffer the most, because orphans attract the sympathy of people. So somehow people help them. But there are kids that I came across that their parents are still alive, but just that the poverty is so much. A lot of them tell me, well, we finished our secondary school, but we're not able to proceed because there's no one to sponsor us. There's no one to sponsor us. And they all come to us because they know we're helping kids with education. So everybody is coming to us. So it's heartbreaking to see that there are real needs out there, but I'm not able to do it. It's just me and one person doing this. It's not just easy to do it. So that's how we have grown.
Yes, I know that how did you come across about that compassion? Well, I want to hear your story now.
Oh, okay. Yes. My father died in 1994. And I'm the first child of my of my father. My parents has 6 children. I'm the firstborn, and in 1994 he passed away, and I was in the university at that time. So life became difficult for me as a result of this occurrence, because he has been the one supporting everything that I do, the school fees, the upkeep, everything about us as a family. It was only my dad. Now, when he passed away, I was still in the university in Nigeria, and I had nowhere to.
Who was like you? I think it will be helpful if we know who was your dad. You are from Taraba, right?
Yes, actually, I'm from Ukari. Actually, Ukari in Taraba State. Taraba is, I believe, is considered northeast, eastern Nigeria, or more closer to Middle Belt, between Adamawa and Benue and Plateau. Taraba is located there. So I was born in Ukari. I grew up in Ukari, actually. My father was a pastor with a Christian Reformed Church denomination. And one of the major work he did in his lifetime was to translate the Bible to our language. So
which was Bukari?
Yeah, Jukum. Ukari is the name of the city. Jukum is the tribe.
Jukum.
Yes, he translated the Bible to Jukum.
Okay.
Ukari Jukum. Yes. So that so when he died, life became difficult for me and my siblings and my mom, and I was in university and I needed to complete my university education. And people came around and trying to ask how can we help, but
somebody here is saying that they know Ukari, but Ukari is not the capital of Tabara now.
No, it's Jalingo is the capital of Taraba. Yes, Ukari is one of the major cities it's in the southern part of Taraba.
Okay.
Yes. So
many people came promising just as usual.
Yes, and they failed. And at that moment, I learned what it means to trust God. Because
you were in your last year of university, or where?
Yes, I was in my final year. And I read mechanical engineering, and my final year project was going to be expensive because I was supposed to design and construct an item which was going to cost money. So I had to change the project because of my situation. So we struggled, but the experience
apart from you finishing university, you still had 5 other siblings to take care of.
Yes. They were still in secondary school. Yes. They were still in secondary school. So,
it was not just your own problem. It was also their own school fees and school and classes and your mother.
Exactly.
Everybody.
Everybody. But God has a way of doing things. So during that experience, actually, is what brought my life purpose. It was from that experience that God gave me a heart, that a compassionate heart came alive in me, whereby when I see people in my kind of situation, I connect with them because I have been there. I know what it means to be without a father. And the sad reality is that when you lose your father, suddenly you look different in the community.
Yeah.
You don't experience love from people again. People look at you as if you have done something wrong. People just don't come around anymore. And so we struggle like that, and I was able to finish my university education. And after my youth service, God opened opportunity for me to come to the US.
What is the university you went to?
Federal University of Technology. Mina in Niger State.
Okay, yeah, that's science, technology, university.
It's the Science and Technology University. That's correct.
Yes. And that's one of the old ones.
I think I don't remember what year.
Because when I was in Nigeria, it was already there. When I was trying to gain admission, it was one of the options. It was one of the first ones that have been there. It's been there.
Yes, it was the first, when they started the University of Technology, those were the first set.
It was the first set, yes.
Yes, those are the first set, yes.
So Mathias Agbu, yes?
Yes,
Agbu. Mathias Agbu, Actually, when you went to that school and when you were finishing, you never even thought that one day you will become the hope and the bridge to be giving hope to children. You never. So your own tragedy, what I'm trying to say is that God has a way of using our own tragedy.
Absolutely.
Maybe if you had not suffered that tragedy, maybe you wouldn't have felt and you wouldn't have been having that kind of feeling.
No, it's very true. Because for me, that was the beginning of the journey because of the tragedy. I mean, when it happens to me, anyone that I see in that category, there's that compassion that comes out of me, trying to help, trying to see what it's not just that category. Anytime I see someone that is in need of help, I can release the last thing with me and just to help that person. But the journey began at that moment. Until I had that experience, I never had that kind of connection with people. It was that experience that actually backed this way of living for me.
The empathy, the
compassion, to make a difference in the life of somebody gives me the most joy, because for me that's what pleasures me the most.
But you are an engineer. You are not supposed to be thinking about that.
Yeah, that's where I had conflict. I said, well, I'm an engineer, so God, if that's my calling, why am I in the engineering field? But meeting you, a lot of these questions became so clear to me that I knew that, wow, this is really my promised land. This is where I need to focus and develop myself in that area and continue to expand the vision to reach more and more of more children in this category.
No, okay. So when you finish university, did the God of your father come true for you? The God that your father served for so many years, all his life. The God that he served, giving his life for his own people, translating the Bible into a whole language. So, and he died now. Did that God come true for you?
He did, and he still does, actually, in many instances. Because through that experience, I mean, after my youth service, I never thought of coming to the U.S. I mean, the opportunity came, and I didn't even want to take it. I said, well, how can I leave my mom and my siblings? Who will take care of them? Because being the first child, I mean, when your father died, automatically you are everyone look up to you. I became the husband to my mom and the father to my younger ones. I took that role. So even though I was not working, but I carried that responsibility.
So you didn't immediately get a job when you finished university?
No, I've never worked in Nigeria, actually. Immediately after my university, I did the normal youth service.
Where was your youth service?
Yeah, during the youth service.
Where was it?
In Ilorin, University of Ilorin. I was there as a lecturer.
Okay.
Yes, at the University of Ilorin in Kwara State. So
how come they will take you as a lecturer? Did you finish well?
Yes, I had a second class upper degree. I think anything second class upper or first class, you'll be sent to the university to teach.
I see.
Yes.
But how were you able to discipline yourself to study so well? Have you always been brilliant in primary, secondary school, or what?
I think I was trying my best, to say the least. I was very focused, actually, right from childhood. I'm one of those child that never experienced the life of a typical child, like playing on the street or I always tell people that I've never fought in my life, and it's strange for people to hear that. So I avoid confrontation right from childhood. I never engage in fist fighting with anybody, and even in primary school, I was always busy with my schoolwork. I'm more of an introvert, much more to myself. So I was very focused. Really
was that also part of your dad's influence?
Absolutely, because he's one of the values that he put in me is the value of education. He places priority on education so high that. And also, the fact that I was doing very well in school, it connected us specially because he always used me as an example wherever he goes. So that he played a role in that, meaning I never stray away, I never misbehave. I think throughout throughout the time my dad was still alive, he caned me only once. And the only time he caned me was when I missed school and I pretended that I was sick in primary school. So when he found out that I just lied, then he caned me. That was the only time. But other than that, I've never run into trouble with my parents. Yeah.
So you studied well in primary, secondary?
Yes. And university as well.
And university, yeah. If you have 2-1.
Yes.
Second class upper.
Yeah, and the reason why...
Second class upper in mechanical engineering.
That's correct. That's correct. The potential was there to even get the first class, but there is this thing in Nigeria, then they say, well, if you have a first class degree, you will end up as a lecturer. But I said I didn't want to lecture. I wanted to work for the oil companies. So we decided to make sure you don't need, second class is second class. No matter your GPA, if you fall within that range, you're okay. But if you push for first class, nobody will hire you. You will end up in the university as a lecturer. So that thing was going on. So that was actually dampening your effort, because they say, well, I'm already comfortable with the GPA I had, that I don't need to push much more harder. But I realized that was really wrong.
Where I was growing up, it is the opposite. You are always told that you must get first class upper. First class. That once you get first class, that you will never need to look for a job again in your life.
Well, that's, I wish we knew that. Because let's say, well, first class, you end up as a lecturer. Nobody is going to employ you with a first class degree, because they will think you are more of a research person, that you end up in a university to teach. So, and I didn't want that. I wanted a good job with the oil companies. That's what every engineer in Nigeria will always look at. That's your ultimate. You want to work for the oil company. That was how we were influenced.
Then you went to Ilorin. What school in Ilorin?
University of Ilorin, the mechanical engineering department.
Wow, that's an old school too.
Yes, it is. Really old school.
And you are teaching there. What year particular were you there?
I was there 96. 96.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And you taught there during your youth call?
Youth service, yes.
And so what then happened from there?
Well, then during the youth service, I had an opportunity to participate in the U.S. Diversity Visa Lottery. And I was also selected.
Is it green card?
Yes, there's this lottery that I think they don't do it for Nigeria anymore, but they have this program, the U.S. Diversity Lottery, where you automatically get green card when you come to the U.S. So that was how I came to the U.S.
So how were you led to do that?
Actually, it's an interesting story. I was together with my colleague, the youth couples that we were serving together. They were doing something, because I've never heard of it before. I've never heard of the U.S. lottery visa before. But they were filling the form and they were telling me what they were doing. I said, oh, what is this about? So they explained it to me. I said, well, the only thing that it will cost me is just a stamp. So I decided to give them a full photograph. I didn't even meet the requirement, because you're supposed to give a passport. But I gave a full-size photograph. I put it in an envelope and mailed it too. And the three of us that did it, two of us got a response back. Even when I got the response back, I was very reluctant about even pursuing.
What kind of response that you were given?
Yes, that I was given. Yes. Because where I come from, as of that time, we only have like 2 people in the U.S. So there was not too much awareness or craze about going to the U.S. So it's not like, oh, you are really pursuing to go overseas, because
a lot of northerners are not overseas. Not too many northern Nigerians are overseas. They are not crazy about, like the Westerners or like the Easterners, who are crazy about, at all costs, who are even going to Libya. The northerners are even closer to the north, but the southerners will have to go to Kano to the north, and then from there going to the desert to Niger.
Yeah.
But the northerners are close, but they don't even do that.
Yeah, that was not there. It's true. So I didn't have any zeal or passion that I must take up this opportunity. Then during that time, I was still dating my wife, and because I said I don't want to be far away from my family, because I'm considered a head now. If I go away, how would they? Well, and then she just mentioned to me, say, well, you don't know, maybe God is using this as a way for you to even help them much more.
But she was not selfish, because selfish lady would have said, you want to leave me? No, don't leave me. Oh.
No, she didn't do that. Yeah, we were still dating, or we were engaged at that time. But she said, okay, just do it. Then I did it, and it turns out to be true. It was because I got here, I was able to actually help my siblings and my mom. Then after I got here, a year or two afterward, my mom passed away again.
No.
So, yes. So my mom died. Then my siblings are there by themselves. So I was really saddled with much more responsibility again. But thank God I was here. I was able.
So how did you survive in the US in the first years?
It was rough, actually. It was rough, but God helped me. Actually, the first few months, it was hard to get a decent engineering job. I run into the challenge that you have a Nigerian degree and you hear all kind of advice, but it was rough for just a short time, not too bad. Then after that, I started working. Did
you have people to receive you, some relatives?
No, actually, I started off by myself, because when I first came, the first 3 months, I stayed with a student in his house. They were sharing an apartment. So the first 3 months, I stayed with them. Then I was able to save up little money. You know, immediately when I got to the US, the change I have left, I sent it back to my mom in Nigeria for them to take care of themselves. So while I tried to struggle to sort myself out in the US.
What was your first job in the US?
Actually,
McDonald's?
No, not really. Maybe I'm one of the lucky ones. I didn't start off too bad. I worked as a technician in a textile company. So I was an operator. It was not really an engineering job, but it was a technical job. So I was an operator.
You applied you saw the advert somewhere or what?
Yes, I actually went through an employment agency. So they saw my background, and I didn't have any experience. I just have a degree with no experience from Nigeria. So it was so hard to sell myself. But people with experience, it's easy to get a job then. But I started as an operator, and from there I start moving up, start changing job, and that's how I've grown for the last 20 years actually.
Okay, so you started changing different jobs, but
yes.
But later on you all the same landed the oil company that you are dreaming of.
Yes.
After how many years were you able to land that?
It took me, that's the last stage job I was in the oil and gas. Before then, I was in an industrial gas company. So I
American industrial gas company?
Yeah, yes, it's an atmospheric gas company. They make oxygen, nitrogen, all the atmospheric gases. So I worked there for 3 years, but then I had my master's degree. So that really gives me a lot of opportunity.
When you were in the US, you were able to do your master's there?
That's correct. I had a master's degree in mechanical engineering again, because I needed to be competitive. I felt that having a Nigerian degree alone might not be enough, because I needed to prove that I can actually be competitive with the people that went to school here. So after getting that degree, it became easy for me to really move up in my career. But the experience is the key, because it's not really where you get the degree. If you in engineering or science, if you have the experience, it doesn't matter where you get the degree. Companies will be attracted to you based on your experience.
Yeah, but a lot of Europeans and a lot of North Americans, especially Canadians, they don't like to do degree. They just do professional courses.
Yeah.
And experience. They finish secondary school, or college, that's all.
Yeah. Maybe they don't need to, because, when we Nigerians, we come here, we want to survive, we want to get a good job and make a good living. So we believe that education is really our leverage, how we can penetrate that. It's easier for them to get a job, unlike you that come from another country and you don't know anybody. So education is really the tool that you can use to at least get to the door, so somebody can talk to you. So for them,
where was the last place you said you were working?
In the oil and gas company. It's right here in Houston.
What company is that?
FMC Technologies.
This place you are working, this place where you just finished working now?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were I thought you were working for, is that oil company?
Yes, it's an oil servicing company.
Okay.
Yes, we do work for the oil companies in the state, like the Shell, Mobil, ExxonMobil, and the operating companies.
Yeah.
So my expertise is in that area, because
in what area?
The subsea controls engineer.
What is it?
Subsea controls engineer.
What does that mean? What do you do?
Well, let me put it like this. Let's say you go to offshore, you drill for oil, right? And you do that at like maybe 10,000 feet below the ocean surface.
Okay.
I mean, it's not practical to send a human being to that level. You can't survive there as a person.
Okay.
So you have this arrangement of valves. They call it Christmas tree. They put there at the bottom of the ocean. Now, how do you get the oil to the surface? You need some control system to be able to control the valves that are 10,000 feet below the ocean surface to the bottom of the sea. So now I am the control engineer responsible for everything in between, from that valve to the platform, to be able to get the oil out of the bottom of the sea to wherever you're going to take it.
But
so everything has to do with
you don't have sea in Texas, do you?
No, there's Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico is you have a lot of oil-related activities in the Gulf of Mexico.
I see, but it's not in Oklahoma. You don't have that.
I'm sorry, say that again.
In Oklahoma.
Okay, no, in Oklahoma there's no, but you have land
drilling,
land rigs and oil facilities. So it's a difference. There's oil there, but not in the ocean. There is just land.
So your specialty will not be needed in land?
No, it can be applicable everywhere. Wherever there's control system, but mostly I have worked in the offshore related control systems. The one that have deep water applications. But the one on the surface, the control system is very straightforward. It can be done, but it's very straightforward. At the bottom it's very complicated. You're talking about a lot of depth, a lot of complication to do that. But on the surface, it's very straightforward because you can manually control the valves. So you don't need a remote control to handle the one on the surface. Yes.
But now, I know a lot of people who are working in the oil industry, and they all lost their job. Not all of them, but almost 90% of them lost their job. 80% maybe.
Yes, I think because of the fall in the global oil price.
Did that affect you too?
It did. But what I have done with that is that I have packaged myself as a consultant now.
Okay.
Whereby, because I have over 10 years experience already, and I believe that I can offer expertise service to whoever needs it, instead of going back and being an employee. I mean, also reading from your books and learning from you, I see where I have added so much value to myself, and I need to be able to give out and charge for that instead of the employee mindset. So now I've packaged myself as a consultant in that field. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Because if you are living in the US and you are not working right now because of the oil downshift, how would that affect your children, your family? you know, and, and your foundation especially.
Oh yeah, that would be that. But if you don't have a good plan going forward, you know, that would be tough, because you know how the life in the US is. I mean, you get it and it goes back into the system. It's like a system. You don't really. But if you have the discipline of saving money, having investment, but over the years we have saved a lot. Besides, well, we don't have like a elaborate lifestyle where we spend like the way the system wants you to. So that is what allows us to still be able to do what we do, because for all these 20 years I've been working, I know we've always saved money and we always have money here and there.
Yeah, but for you to have sponsored 200 students to secondary school and higher institution, you even mentioned it that sometimes you are closing your account and you still have 5 siblings.
That's true. That's true. But I think that's true, because the biggest breakthrough for me was when I had the opportunity to be in Nigeria as an expat for 4 years. I know when you are sent on a foreign assignment, the benefit.
So you are like an expatriate.
Yes, as an expatriate. So that comes with a lot. It comes with a lot. I mean, in that 4 years, what I've been able to do as far as our personal savings or what we have been able to do to affect the life of people is more than the first 16 years. Ooh. Just that 4 year time frame.
Wow.
So that was the big breakthrough for us. It really positioned us so well and make us so robust to the dynamics of the market.
You know, I always tell Nigerians, if you talk to Nigerians who are based in Nigeria,
yes,
you hear them saying things like, "Oh, the Oyibos, the whites who go to Nigeria, they don't want to go back. That Nigeria is like a..."
It's true.
Yeah, that Nigeria is a place that is so, you know, blessed, or they like Nigeria or something, but they don't know that the incentives that those Oyibos have to be given. No Oyibo want to live here at all. Nobody. Yes. I mean, even here in Ukraine, Ukraine is not even as good as Western Europe or America or Canada. Still, nobody wants to leave Ukraine. For you to convince them to go to Africa, they have such a... Not just they have. We all know that Africa is rough. And nobody... You know, I don't even know anybody in his right senses that is making it here. Either he has to go because, for me, I'm taking 200 people from here and many more from all over the world. But that is because they are Christians, they believe in the message, and they are ready to die to give their lives just because they follow me. But to go and walk, to go and... even companies, for you to entice them to go, you have to pay them 3, 4, 5 times more than you are paying them here. And that's what you are talking about now.
Yeah, that's true. And you see how it favors me as a Nigerian. You know, you're sending me to Nigeria as an expatriate, but the same package that you will give the Oyibos that don't want to go, I'm entitled to it because I have the American passport. So that is now... Yes, so that is how it actually benefits me. Now, when you are in Lagos, you know, there are shops, there are stores where mostly the expatriates go and shop. But I say, I'm a local boy, my wife can go to any market in Lagos to shop. So why do you have to go and pay 4 or 5 times in the store, because it's only expatriates that patronize that store? So
yes, I went to those stores when I was in Nigeria. I went with the white people, and they couldn't eat Nigerian food, so we were going to those stores. But they are more expensive than here.
Very expensive.
Like 2, 3 times. And I'm saying, how can they be selling these things 2, 3 times the cost here? Yes, and Nigeria is a poor country. Nigeria is a poor country where they don't have money. And this is where the thing is up to 5 times more expensive than where in Europe where they have money.
That's true. Because they are targeting the expatriate community, because they know that they make a lot of money. They give them a lot of money. But now, we are wise, we are Nigerians, so I can't go to Nigeria and be patronizing the stores that are meant for expatriate, even though I was an expatriate. So, you know, through that, that's how you save a lot of money. You don't have to spend like an expatriate, because you are in your country, you can cook, you know you can go to the open market and shop. You don't have to go to a special store. So that helps a lot. That helps a lot.
No, Mathias Agbu. We have Mathias Agbu here today, and he's been, we've been learning. I still want to learn about your foundation. But before that, there are some people who are coming here now, and somebody in particular is writing, "This is my senator for 2019." They are calling you. They are already recognizing you as a senator. So some people know you. Yeah, some people know you here, and they are already clapping for you, and urging you on. Tell us about that.
Oh my God. Well, like I said earlier, that how I got to know you was because God actually revealed to me that He has a leadership responsibility for me in Nigeria. I never wanted to go into politics. I never wanted that, but I love what I was doing with my foundation. My interest and passion is to continue to impact lives. I've done a lot through my foundation. Besides the orphans, I do a lot of youth empowerment programs. And
I heard that you bring communities together, even communities that were not friendly.
Exactly, because I organize a football tournament that actually harmonized. So where I come from, we have a lot of crisis between the Muslim and Christians. And when we travel home in
that is the hotbed of the crisis. Taraba and other places like that.
Yes. So I saw the devastation as a result of that crisis. My heart was really pained. But I know that my foundation's focus is purely orphans. But I said, well, I have to use the same platform to do more. I can't restrict it that it's just orphans. So I decided to do one. I know that because most of these youth are very, very involved in any of these things. The crisis, you just know the youth are all in it. So I decided to start. I said, if I can change the mindset, I will help solve some of these problems in my own little way. So I started doing conferences and seminars targeted at the youth. And because the society is so polarized along religious lines, you have an area that the Muslim people live on this side of town, the Christian lives on this side of town. I said, there's nothing that brings the two of them together, which I believe was not right. Then I said, what can I do? Even though I don't live in Nigeria, I said, I can use my foundation as a platform and start something. So I had an idea to start a football tournament because most of these youths, they love football. And we know that football brings people together. So I started a huge football tournament. I spent my money. I transported players from different locations. I provided incentives to make sure that the tournament is attractive and people participate in it. And I get reports that since the crisis, there has never been an event that harmonized the Christian and the Muslims until my football tournament. So we have done it in 2016. We did it again in 2017. And by the grace of God, we'll do it again in 2018. So those are some of the activities that I have done. But now, to come back to the political question you asked earlier.
Some people are saying, you have to clarify it too, because some people are calling you senators. Why? Some people are saying you should become the governor. So you have to clarify which one is it.
Wow.
They say you have all it takes to govern the state, to take charge of the state.
Well, I appreciate that comment. It's very humbling to me. I appreciate that. But I think you have to start somewhere. And I believe, like I said, the faith series, the process of faith, you have to start somewhere. So ultimately, God will do what He wants to do.
What is the revelation you think? What is the thing you want to start with?
I want to start with Senate.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because some people might be from your state here that would like to know more about your plans.
Yes. Well, okay, like I said, so when God revealed to me that I have this leadership responsibility in Nigeria, I resisted it for over, I mean, this started since 2013, but it kept coming back. Then 2016, that's when I got in contact with you. Actually, 2017. But now, it became so much that I have no choice. It dawns on me that this is a responsibility. It's not whether I like it or not, or I want to do that, because deep in my heart, I don't want anything to do with politics. But it dawned on me that if you really have a good heart, you have a compassionate heart, and you are given a political position as a tool, you can actually do a lot to affect the life of
because people. When the evil reigns, when good people run away from places of responsibility. When good people are not acting, that is why the bad people take control of the government.
That's correct. And I never realized some of this until I started learning from you, honestly. Because I was just looking at it. Well, politics is so complicated, and I don't live in Nigeria, even though I do most of. But I didn't know that everything I've been doing, God has been helping me to do what I've been doing, because ultimately my heart is at home. My heart is with the people. I see a lot of wrongs that is being done to the people. And I see so many, like when I went home in January, I mean, I have not recovered from what I discovered because of the enormous problem that people are dealing with. And some of these problems are simple to solve, but they have no one to go to. Okay, so anyway, I jumped. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to get involved in the political system. I said, okay, where do I start? And I believe I had a chat with you. And I said, okay, let me start to contest for Senate. So that's what leads to this. So yes, I'm going to contest for election from 2019. I've actually started the consultation. I have reached out to so many people, the elders, the stakeholders, the youths, and the feedback is very, very positive. But we know how complicated the Nigerian politics is. Everyone say, well, you have to have a lot of money, or you have to have a godfather. I say, well, I only have God. I don't have anybody bringing me into politics, but I know that He put it in my heart to get involved, to be able to help people. That's all I have. But I don't allow that to deter me, because I know that God is involved. I remain focused that He will help me along the way. And He has been helping me with minimal input. I see the effect is so large. So that is really where I am now. I'm going to contest for Senate.
For you to contest for Senate, you have 2 senators, right, from your state?
I think we have 3. We have one in the central, one in the northern, and one in the southern. So I'm in the southern part of Taraba State.
From every state, is 3? Okay, 3 per state, yeah.
Okay.
So you have 3. You are going to be contesting from the southern
part of the state, yes.
So, but how, you will, how will you address the situation? Or you're already addressing it. What will be your own attitude or response to this herdsmen and crisis and the Muslim Christian crisis, all the things? Because a lot of Nigerians, especially Christians in the south, they are just aggressive, and they go and kill them, go and fight, go and do this. What will be your own attitude to resolving this situation, especially if you are going to go into politics also? What is your own response?
That's a very good question, and honestly, I think my response, I would look at the situation. The first thing I would do is we have to approach it maybe differently, get people to talk, and I think the absence of love, like you taught us in one of the series you are doing now, I see there's a big problem of love in Nigeria. There is no love, and I think the church has to do something about that as well. I'm a Christian, so I have to talk from that perspective. The church has a lot to do with that, but to address the herdsman crisis, I think it's good to sit down and look at it holistically and actually try to come up with a solution. Because now it's about this person fighting this person. There's no any forum where let's talk. Let's see what can we do to get out of this situation. But I think we have to talk.
So I support your position that even if some people, like some Southerners are claiming, how can you talk to somebody who is killing you? But everything has to be done in dialogues. We've got to listen to the other side as well. We've got to give people benefit of a doubt.
Exactly, because you have to talk. I think that's the starting point. We have to talk and understand each other and come up with a workable solution. You know, I'm not saying that, oh, this is the best or no, but it's something that the two parties have to sit down and talk. You know, I think that's the starting point.
Because all those people, both the Muslims and the Christians, are all your constituents, are all your, you know, what they call
exactly. I mean, personally, my mother's side, I mean, I have a lot of relatives that are Muslims. I mean, when I go to Nigeria, the person that drives me is my uncle, and he's a Muslim. So I grew up in that environment where we really relate. So, but when I left, all these things happened after I left Nigeria, because I still don't understand how this problem came about, especially in my community in particular. How people that are so related, today they are fighting each other. I never experienced that growing up. So I still cannot wrap my mind around that. And I have the burden, and I believe that I have what it takes to bring solution to that problem. And that's why I started with my foundation. But I know when you have a political office as a tool, you have a lot of influence. There's so many things you can do to harmonize people, because this fighting doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody. So, I mean, lives have been lost, destinies have been wasted away, potentials, you're losing potentials. So I wrote a book to address that, actually, and I share it for free to the youth, especially in that community. So I think there's a lot to be done, but the starting point is you have to sit down and talk and look at the issue holistically.
Now, some people will say you are in the U.S. What state are you in?
I'm in Texas. I've been in Texas for the last 20 years.
Okay, wow.
Houston, Texas.
So, but how can you leave Texas, been there for the past 20 years, to move back to Nigeria? Nigeria is rough, especially being from Taraba State. Taraba State, Nigeria, is a rough place to be with all these northerners, I mean, with all these the S-men and the Muslims and the Fulani S-men and things like that. But how can, after 20 years in the U.S.,
yeah,
but, you know, will your wife allow you? Will your wife let you go?
You know, I think I forgot to mention this. The only reason why I'm able to do what I do actually is because of the wife God blessed me with. You know what it means to push money from your savings or checking account and be helping people. I mean, if you don't have a supportive wife, you cannot do any of those things. You may have the passion, you have the calling, but you can't just do it, because she can always say, oh, we need to take, but she is so supportive. My wife has been very, very supportive of the vision that God has given me. And going back to Nigeria doesn't mean that I'm relocating my family completely. I'm sure that things have to be done in phases. So, but she is very supportive of what I do. I think that's the person that always encourages me. There's never a time that she complained. She just, I think my excesses can be too much. I mean, you can be too compassionate and I really give without control. But I think sometimes she helped me in thinking through what I do. So I mean, having lived here for 20 years, it doesn't look like, okay, it doesn't mean I've not been going home. I've been so connected to home. I visit home like every year. So I'm very connected to my community in Taraba State. So it's not really, to be honest with you, even with the comfort here, my heart is not here. My heart is really at home. Even with the comfort here, my heart is at home with my people. Because I feel that I have solutions to some of the complicated issues that they deal with every day. And I see absence of love at home, because some of the cases that we are confronted with in the foundation, it amazes me that some of these kids, they have relatives that are doing well, but no one can even think of intervening. And they are sending them to us because we are helping people. So instead of you to help that, you're sending it to the foundation. Oh, this foundation is helping. But some of these issues are not, I mean, you're talking about 10,000 naira a term. It's nothing. I mean, there are people that can easily spend that just over breakfast or lunch somewhere in Nigeria. But that's what it takes to put someone in some of the schools. It's not much. But people only think of their children. Where I come from, growing up, I mean, I can't even think of anybody that say, oh, he's helping people outside his family. It's not common to find that.
No, it's where I come from too, everywhere. The only person, the first person when I was growing up, I come from Ogun State, was that when I was growing up, the only first person I had that was helping people who don't belong to his community was, okay, because I know people like, we had people who are helping the people in our village, but we come from the same village. So, so to go and help somebody in another community would be seen as strange. So the only first person that I had was doing that was Abiola. MKO Abiola. Yes, we come from the same state with him. So when we hear that he's invited to that place and he's giving money, even me, when I was growing, it was so strange. So it's a strange concept in Nigeria, no love. It's the biggest crisis we have, is that no love. In fact, love is strange to us. The idea of love, just to go and help anybody that you are not related to, that is not your relative or anybody like that, is a strange concept. Go and just be doing good to any community. If even the Abiola thing, people said it's because he had a political agenda. So people will always have an excuse for it.
Of course, they will do that. I mean, they say that about my foundation too. They say, oh, you've been doing this foundation so that you can get into politics. Of course, you hear those kind of statements. But, I mean, it depends on who is saying that, because I see them as shallow-minded people if you say that. Because the way I respond is that, well, then that's a good thing. Let everybody that wants to go into politics do that. But the end is that about 200 kids will be able to go to school. So that is something, even if you are doing it for politics, but look at the results that we are producing, that we're able to help these children go.
And you are not using political money. You are
exactly
using your own money.
I've never held a political office. It's my hard, and you know, in America you don't have free money. It's every money you have is what you work hard to earn it. So, and you know, I've been doing this, but I do it effortlessly, and I never think about it. I have intervened in cases that I don't even know the people, but I heard there's a problem here. I decided to intervene. I have one of these, I call it a star beneficiary. His father died when he was 9, and his mother had been blind all her life. And this boy, he takes care of his mom. He learned mechanic trade. He works as a mechanic, fixing motorcycle to take care of his mom. But he wanted to go to school. So when he finished his secondary education, he struggled so hard. He got his result. He wrote JAM, but the problem he had was no one to pay his tuition. So we finish up, because usually when we do our foundation enrollment, we go through our process. When we finish, they will release the scholarship to them. So we have done all that. Then he contacted me on Facebook. He said, well, this is my situation. I really need help. Then I said, wow, we just finished our application process. But let me send one of my volunteers to go and investigate the story. So they went and actually sent me information about him. I said, wow, no, whatever it takes, if this boy with this kind of situation, he can still have admission letter in his hand. The only problem, he doesn't have school fees. So I said, I will make sure I pay 100% of his school fees. So that's how he got to university in Ukari. And today he graduated with a second-class upper degree.
No, he's graduated.
Yes, he graduated. He's graduated. He's actually a volunteer in the foundation now. You know, that kind of story, I mean, to me, is the best story of all. The fact that I'm able to come in. Imagine there was no intervention. That's how he would have ended up. You know, last year, we had one of our beneficiaries too that we helped. He came to the foundation. He got admission to study physics in the university, and he needed help. So we took it up. And last year, he graduated with a degree in physics, first class degree.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes. He just graduated and he's doing his youth service now. So some of this success story, it keeps me going. It inspires me to do more. Because I just imagine that if I had not intervened in this, there are many. These are just two that are very outstanding that I wanted to share. This boy has a first class degree in physics. And I said, this is somebody that maybe couldn't have made it even to the university because there was nobody to help. There are so many kids out there in that situation, especially in where I come from. Because most people, they work for the government, there's no money, people are struggling. I mean, but even the people that have it, to have the heart to reach out to people in the community, they only think about their children. They only think about their children. And there's so many needs like that out there. I mean, so many. I get, every day I get text messages. Oh, I need help. I heard that you're helping people. It's so overwhelming. And it grieves my heart that I'm not able to do everything. But that is the reality. But our success story really is what motivates me and keeps me going. You know, I feel like keep doing and doing because at the end of the day, now I can see that. So I look forward to having my own secondary school that will have all these underprivileged kids and train them in values, train them in life skills, and help them get to the university and they graduate and become leaders in the community. For me, that is really the dream come true. I want to do that.
What about your siblings? Are they surviving?
Yes, they're doing fine. Actually, that's interesting you asked that because I actually finished with my siblings before I started the foundation. Meaning, I put them all through school. I mean, those that have degrees, I paid for their school fees. They graduated. The ones that got married, I helped them got married. So we took care of them before I even started the foundation.
And your wife was all along?
Oh, very supportive. Very supportive. We did the same with her siblings too. Her siblings too, we helped them through school. So
I want to ask something about your wife. When you got your green card and you left Nigeria, did you leave her behind? Did she come to meet you later, or how did that happen?
Yeah, she came to meet me later on because when I was leaving Nigeria, she was in a university. I believe she was in her final year. So she has to graduate and also do her youth service.
Are you from the same secondary school or something?
I'm sorry?
Are you
she was in the university.
No, where did you meet?
We met when I was in the university, and she was actually just about getting into the university. Yes. We are from the same area. So we attend the same church denomination. So we met when I was, I think I still have 2 more years or so to go in the university when I met her, and she was just about starting university.
And now you left Nigeria and you left her behind?
Yes, I left her when she was in her final year. And she finished her university education, then did the youth service. That was, after that, then she
and you were in the US?
Yes, I was always coming home, so we are always communicating. Mm.
Did you marry before you left Nigeria or after you had left Nigeria?
After I left Nigeria. I left Nigeria in 97. I went back 98. December, we got married.
So, how did you process, or is it automatic? The visa you got, was it automatic to bring your spouse with it?
It's not automatic. There is time to it. You are entitled to bring your spouse, but there's a waiting period. So, actually what I did, because I didn't want to wait too long before she joined me. So after her NYC, what I did was I got her a school in Canada. because I felt Canada was much more closer for me to be seeing her and communicating with her than be traveling to Nigeria.
So you are paying for the school fees?
Yes, it was a community school. It wasn't too bad. It was tough because at that point in my life, I was still starting to.
Yeah, because you were still struggling.
Yes, I was still starting, so that was not. But she's a very understanding person. She understood so well. It was okay. We were able to manage the hardship together.
I don't know. Somebody told me that the best Nigerians are the middle belt Nigerians. That Nigerians but that is where we have more crisis for some reasons now. But they say they are the best Nigerians. The Taraba, Adamawa, Plateau, Yobe, Benue, that they are the best Nigerians. Now, I've heard that from the Southerners a lot. And that they are the best Christians also. The Northern Christians, that they are the best Christians. So, but now, also, I'm hearing that they are the poorest. That somebody went to Taraba and Yobe from here, and he said everybody that is complaining in the south should go to the north. That there is no problem in the south at all. That if you go to Yobe, especially Taraba, that people are so much in need.
Yeah, it's true, because most of the people there, the people that work, it's only government jobs.
That's what I know, that it's only the politicians and government civil servants.
Yes, the politicians are the wealthiest. Actually, that's the truth. You don't find a wealthy businessman in that area, except maybe he lives in Lagos or Abuja, but within that area, you don't find that.
Because there is a misconception in the south, and so this is so bad, and this is one of the greatest deceptions in Nigeria, that the northerners, and they can't you, they will call you, even people like you, northerners, and they will say, they will say, southerners say that, they will say north is our problem, northerners are our problem, they have taken all the money of Nigeria and something like that. But when you go there proper to that north, you will see that there are even people are suffering, that they have less opportunity. They are in the same Nigeria, but they are, in fact, I was talking with some of the Biafran people, and the Biafran people are the violent Nigerians that want to go out, and they feel that they are being, what do you call it? They are being marginalized, yes, they are being marginalized. And so I said, let's be truthful. I went to Kaduna myself, the last time I went to Nigeria, and I will tell you who is being marginalized in Nigeria. I think that the northerners, the ordinary people, you will not even say, go to the villages in the east, you will see the houses, and you will know that they are the privileged ones compared to the ordinary people in the northern Nigeria. And the guy had to admit, he said, yes, I grew up in the north. He said, yes, because in the north, the poor people are really poor. So I said, what are you then complaining about? Why are you talking? Even in the West, people are complaining against the North. As if the Northerners want to rule forever. They want to, what kind of rule? When people don't even know what it is. Maybe we should just talk about the cabals of the rich and poor. That is the only thing I think we should talk about.
I think so, yeah. I agree. You saw, those in power, mostly the far north, it's more like cabal, but that wealth doesn't go down to the ordinary man. People still suffer. I mean, you don't, like you say in the East, I've traveled sometimes some part of the East. You go to a remote village where there are major mansions in the village, but you don't see that in the North. I mean, you still see people living in the hut. You see poverty. Actually, you see poverty everywhere. And it grieves my heart. Like when I traveled home in January, I kept saying that things have not changed. Things have not improved. You see poverty right there. People you have left for a long time and you go back, no improvement in their life. So, but the unfortunate thing is that it's the politicians that have the resource. But that doesn't go down to affect the life of ordinary people. If they're able to help the ordinary people, that could have brought some changes or improvement in the life of those ordinary people. That's correct.
Yeah, and really, my heart really goes out to that, because somebody said, if you want to see poverty in Nigeria, go to the north.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So the opportunities are not even there. I mean, not like Taraba, for instance, we are blessed with so much land resources. So most people are farmers. So I think there is this awareness of farming that I think is really bringing revolution to the game.
But they are not doing the mechanized farming like in America or in Europe.
Yeah, they are not there yet. That's true. They work so hard. I mean, what pains me is that they work so hard, and now they come out, what they get for their labor is nothing. It's nothing. Like when I went, you buy like yam, you just ask someone to get yam for you, and you see, I say, all this yam for just 1,000 naira. Yeah, and that's the value of 1,000 naira in Nigeria is really nothing. But somebody works so hard for just that, because there's no, they don't really see benefit in terms of wealth from their family. They just do it for survival. You do it to get small money to live. The next time you go back again. So that is, we're hoping that that will improve, so that they can see value in their hard work. And
the good thing I saw recently is when Muhammadu Buhari, the president, went to the north. I think he went to either Sokoto or Adamawa or somewhere in the north. And when he went there, I was so happy to see all the young people welcoming him, which means people are still hoping. They are still hoping. They are still hoping.
Yeah. I see there's so much hope. People are really hoping for. I mean, they are hoping for something good to still happen.
They are looking forward. Looking forward.
Yes, there's so much desperation. There's so much
expectation.
People are hoping. Yes, they are hoping for something different, something that will happen in their lives, because they have suffered so much. They have suffered so much. It's just they are hoping. They are hoping that things will happen. Things will happen, and I mean it's quite sad.
And that's why someone like you must go back.
Yes.
What can somebody? What can anybody who is watching now do to help your foundation?
Well, definitely. I mean, there's no way.
Can you tell us the name of the foundation again?
Okay, look
or the Facebook or your website.
Okay, the website is actually Agbu Foundation. My last name, foundation.org.
Okay, AGBU Foundation. One word.
Yes, agbufoundation.org. That's the website. But we have a Facebook page as well, but the Facebook page carries the full name of the foundation, which is Luka Agbu Memorial Foundation.
I see some photographs here.
Yes, it's all our events are captured.
What are you distributing here?
Okay, I'm not sure what you are saying.
Okay. I see a black bag.
Okay.
Yes.
It was an IDP camp in Ukari. People that were displaced from their home.
Yes.
And they're living in that primary school. So we have done about 2 or 3 outreaches to that camp. I believe the one you are seeing is the one my wife went. She went with clothing materials and food material for the clothing for the children, and also food for the women there. But the foundation also had provided, because we found out that most of them, they are sleeping on the bare floor. So the foundation provided like 50 mattresses. 50 mattresses to the families that are in this camp, because we found out that they were sleeping on the bare floor, and we decided to do something about it. So we provided 50 mattresses for those families, and also we helped them with food materials as well. So we've been to that camp like 3 times already.
So you're just going to help people in need?
Yes. Because they were displaced from their home, they lost their home, they lost everything. So they keep them in the camp. I mean, you go there, their condition is so bad. So people offer help. So we decided to do something about it. So that's how we provided those relief materials for those camps. And we've helped like 30 widows from one of the villages. I mean, I think the Fulani people, the headsman, the ones causing the problem in that area, they went and slaughtered like most of their husbands. I mean, all of them. We identified 30 of them that we help as well with money and small things to help them take care of themselves in the meantime.
Beautiful, beautiful. I see mattresses being distributed.
Yes, because they sleep on the bare floor. There's no beddings at all. So we're only able to help with 50, but they needed more, but we just helped with 50.
Wow. Then football tournament.
Yes, that's our community empowerment programs. That's the one that I call it United for Peace. So we give incentives. We provide jerseys. We provide incentives to the winners just to attract people to do it. And it's by our standard, that is the best tournament they've had in that part of the state. Everybody talks about it. I mean, the objective is to harmonize the Christians and the Muslims that were fighting each other, and it achieved that.
But I can't believe what you are saying, that, you know, you have to be distributing mattresses, but people do sleep on the bare floor.
Oh yeah. The condition at the camp is bad. You know, it's bad. When I found out, I said, no, I must do something about it. So we decided to give them mattresses. I mean, they lost everything. They don't have anything. So they just, what they did was they just showed them the primary school. So different people come there to help them with one thing or the other. But when I found out that they were still sleeping on the bare floor, I decided to help them with the mattresses. We bought the mattresses and distributed.
That is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's like there's no government in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. You know, when the people are not your priority, you know, I know the government, maybe they have done something there, but it wasn't enough. But I think people are not feeling the impact of the government that much. It depends on where you are, because the crises were all over the state. I mean, so NGOs have to come in, government have to play their part, and citizens also have to come in to help. Obviously, the government was not able to do it by themselves. But
so to find more information, they can go to Facebook also.
Yes, the Facebook page is out there. Look at Agbu Foundation. If you just search for it, the Facebook page also has some of the photographs. But the website captures everything we do.
The website is just Agbu Foundation.
Yes, agbufoundation.org. And if you, like the orphans, what we do, we provide them with school supplies as well. There are many ways you can partner with us. You can partner with us by helping them with the tuition, and also you can help with the school supplies too. Like there was a time I had to buy like a lot of backpacks from here. You know, when they do back to school sales here, sometimes you get high volume at a subsidized at a discount rate. So I take advantage of that. I buy it and I ship it to Nigeria. Then they distribute it. They will supply them with, you know, my goal is that for every kid that is in that condition, I want the kid to feel like a normal kid among other kids. So you shouldn't have a uniform that is torn up because you don't have a parent to help you buy a new uniform. So we want to at least help you with things like that. Or you shouldn't go to school, you don't have a shoe, and you look different from the other kid that has a shoe. So I want to provide the shoe. I want to provide the books. I want to provide whatever you need for you to focus on your education. That is really my goal. Am I able to do that all the time? No, but that's my goal. My goal is to make sure that that kid is able to assimilate with other kids and not look like he is different from other kids. But now you have to work hard to succeed. You just need to focus on your education. So, and I believe the vision for, I mean, when I came to Ukraine, And when I shared my vision, and what you did to me was you make me see opportunities in this vision, because I've always seen it as something that I'll do it as part of what I love to do, not my full focus. But now I realize that, wow, this is really my promised land, and I have to focus my entire lifetime to it. And I was saying that my goal, my lifetime goal, was to sponsor 1,000 kids through university. And you stretch it to me, say, no, you need to look at sponsoring, get rid of 2 million orphans on the street.
It has to be in the millions. We have to take them.
Yes, and to look beyond even my locality. So now I'm looking at a vision for Nigeria, that I want to be known that I'm the one that rescue the Almajiri's from the street. I'm the one that rescue the kids that have disturbing. I mean, the kids that are really underprivileged. I'm the one that rescue them and provide them with education and that opportunity for them to do well in their life. So now the vision has suddenly grown so big, and I'm so happy about it, because now I have something that is stretching me. Every day it's stretching me. How will I do it? How will I do it? So now, having met you, that is one big thing that has happened to me now. Now I see that, wow, there's so much I can do. So I want to be known as someone that really rescued these underprivileged children and give them the opportunity to succeed in life.
Yeah, because in the north, when you get there, you see a lot of them, and even girls on the street.
Yes.
Just roaming about.
Yes. You know, we have these cases of early pregnancy, very common. Because of the crisis, most of these families, they come back to town, and you have all these girls, they get pregnant easily. I mean, you have a lot of them getting pregnant, teenagers. So now, I said, you know, and in that area, because there's a stigma to it, people look at you like you're nobody now. You have a child out of wedlock, and that child is looked at as a bastard, which is very wrong. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to come up with a program. I think we want to get those girls back to school, that there's still hope in your life, even though you have made a big mistake with your life. But that doesn't mean that's the end of your life, because what happened now, nobody will send you to school again. Because you have a kid, you just stay at home, that's the end. And you see a lot of these young girls, young teenage mothers. So I want to be able to bring them back to school. I want to give them that opportunity that they can go back to school and better their life. So there's so many things like that.
I can speak to you forever. I hope you will come back. I hope Julie will get you for another book review so that we could continue our conversation. But yes, because we are only 15 minutes more to go for the next program.
Okay.
Can you believe it? So I have to let you go, but you have done so very well. So very well. And I'm sure you will read the comments. You will see that so many people are hailing you on. So thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Keep on the good work, and we are wishing you success as you go back to Nigeria to become a deliverer. And you will go and pave the ground for us, and we'll come and meet you.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless you now.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Greetings to your wife.